Hello, my name is Karinda Salsabilla. So this video is a segment from the extensive reading course. So what kind of activity we want to talk about? So there is activity. So today activity is will be review books. So we have three books over here. The first one is What's in the Books. The second one is Winter Woods, and the last one is Sweet Home. The first book is What's in the Books by Eliuno and Amrin Pise. So that is the book cover. So this story tells about the siblings who is Betty, his eldest sister, and her younger brother Vito. Vito was worried he has been playing game on his tablet so often that he not study lately. She worried because that day will be the competition day between them. So when their father came home at the night, he told them it was time for the competition. Fetty answered several questions correctly, and the last question father asked to Vito about what the shape of the earth. But Vito couldn't answer the question correctly. So his father asked to Fetty. Fetty replied with a smile, and she said, if the earth has a round shape. So the winner of this competition is Fetty. So the next day, Peter asked Fetty how she knows someone answer. So Fetty said, at a from books. And after that day, Vito is very diligent in reading books, and he always waited for the day competition, and he wants to be a winner like his sister. Okay, that is my assessment of this story. I will give a ranking 8.5 because this story teaches many things from encouraging to keep reading to get a lot of knowledge and continue to feel thirsty for knowledge, and also even more so parents to be a reference to educating their children. For the delivery of the story, plot, character, and others, that style is quite satisfying, and the use of language is very easy to understand. So that's all about my first review. Okay, there is the second book I will be review, with the title is Winter Woods. So that is the cover. This comics is created by Cosmos and the art illustrated by Fungi. With the episode is 129 episode. This comic has two release dates, the first one in the Korea and the second one in English. This comic has genre romance and the rating itself 982 star. This is available on Never Return or Webtoon Global. So this story tells a man named Winterwood who is slowly turned into the human. Winterwood himself is a woman figure, but he is an undead. He doesn't have a heart like a woman. So this picture about how the winter is undead figure. Winter itself is the work of chemist who is obsessed with making humans for the skeleton of corpse combinate. However, after living with Jane, Winter began to slowly show signs of human life. His skin is no longer pale, like when he met Jane at the first time. In the case, Jane can make Winter feel not possible for his, but Jane make it possible. Long short story, because there are some problems with winter situation, they are showing signs of life. That's where the winter body begins to return to the original form, and she has to go to a remote place to undergo treatment with Joe, which is the result of an experience by the same chemist as Winter. However, Joe had completely transformed like a human. Winter care itself takes about 3 years, and after he becomes a real human, he immediately returns to meet Jane and their parrot Roy. They get married together like a family that Winter had never felt before. So that is my assessment about this comic. I give this comic a, a half star. So for the story, the author has worked a very interesting story. It never occurs to me that the skeleton of the corpse could be combined to from a new body. And for the flow or alur cerita, illustration are made very interesting. There are several parts where the author decides the comic character is very funny, so that it can make the reader laugh, and the illustration itself can become the characteristic of this comic. There is a sad story in this comic where the chemist tries to make a new family after they lose someone he considers valuable. It is better if we let go of people who are not longer with us and send it off. So that is part bonus, and that's all about my second review books. So the next one, it will be the last review. Okay, the last book will be review is Sweet Home. That is the comics. So that is the cover of comics. The creator of this comic is Karn by Kim, art illustrated by Yongchan Wang, with the episode is 137 episode. This comic has two release updates, the first in Korea and the second is in English. This comic has genre horror and the rating of this comic is 9.82 and is available on Never Webtoon or Webtoon. So this story tells about an event that can change human into the monster. This alone is caused by a virus which began to spread in the area. So before they really turn into the monster, they will make a deal first with the other side of their body parts. Within the agreement, they can get a thing they want. So before they are thrown completely into the monster, they will continue to feel, see, or hear another figure from their identity. They will continue to feel haunted until they become crazy. So they only have two choices. The first one is stay and wait for their return, and the second one is go to another place to seek help because they still have a little hope save themselves in this situation. On the one hand, they have to fight their selfishness. On the another hand, they have to fight against the monster that exists. On other hand, they also have to save other residents who have been infected with this virus. Okay, this is my assessment from this comic. I will give a ranking 7. For the image of illustration of this comic, I think enough satisfies the readers. It's very interesting. There are a lot of monster forms that have never been previously explored. And then for the story of this comic is very interesting. But in my opinion, what is the lagging in this explanation of the spread of these errors which the author doesn't reveal it ever again. In this story, we can take a moral message in which we should not only thinking about our selfishness, even though it's hard time, it's good if we help each other carefully. And also don't ever regret addiction in the past because it's only part of the time. So that's all about my review books. For extensive reading course. Thank you so much for your nice attention.